is the missing ingredient. How do we time jump? How do we go from this reality to that which we dream or wish for? And how does the divine orchestrate in our favor with our consciousness? I want to welcome you to or back to the channel Crystal Clear. Here on these podcasts, we speak all things spiritual. In a world of duality between the hustle, the bustle, the grief, the heartache, the strife, we often forget is exactly why we signed up, because this duality is what helps ricochet our ascension. Today, I want to kind of tag on to the missing ingredient. The other 2 podcasts ago, and I will link it below if you're curious, I did almost a channeling with a meditation I had just got done with. And it was in regards to creating the manifestation, the world that you want. And in short, if the Cinemark big screen is the hologram of the matrix, that which we see around us, then the projector itself is the consciousness. And how do you get that consciousness to the holograph that we're seeing? Is the actual projection of the light. That light is the vision. That vision is the bridge. So is it just as easy as that? Well, I feel encouraged after putting out that episode. I've had a crazy wild dream, which I'm sure was personal, but also plays a heavy influence into what we discuss about manifestation, but with a tail spin, if you will, and how you go about your world, the speed of which you use that bridge, or if anything, maybe how fast that projector is spitting out the images to the screen, and how well and how fluid it goes. I want to tell you this dream. I'm welcoming you to use your own interpretation, use your own intuition, if you will, as I describe it. And then I'm going to tell you, as I sit and I reflect back on that dream, what was so key and potent about it, and the different things that we have heard from about manifestation and how it was articulated and brought forth in my consciousness through a dream state reality. So here we go. I'm chilling out in a room of people. They feel like acquaintances. I don't know that I'm really close with them, but I feel integrated. I feel welcome there, I guess. Like I know them, but I don't know them in this dream. And I'm hanging out on the couch, and I look through this door frame, if you will, into another room. I see a lady who I don't know, and she's like jumping around. And in my thought, I'm like, what is she doing? When I recognize, then immediately she kind of transfers and goes, no, what the hell's happening? In that, the ground was shaking. And we are in an earthquake. So in that moment, I jump from the couch. I go to the nearest door frame that was right between like the breezeway, right, into this room. This lady comes and joins me. The room is beginning to get a little chaotic. Everybody's trying to find a place of shelter. I don't think too heavily about this. I kind of feel like it's just going to be a tremble until I realize it's not a tremble. The construction, the plaster, the concrete is starting to break. Even worse, at this point, I have this profound realization, we're in the basement. This is not going to go well. And I believe it's at this point that I recognize that this isn't just a shutter. And I immediately go into prayer. So as I begin this prayer, calling upon an angelic team to support us in this moment of disaster, I realize it's only getting worse. I see the plaster, I see the crumble of the concrete fall, I hear the people around me, the chaos, the fear, the distraction, the distraughtness of everybody's voice. And I look over to the lady that's in the same door frame as me, and I realize her frame is beginning to tilt down on her. It's not holding the structure above her head. And while she's looking at me simultaneously, like, are you crazy? You're sitting here praying? What are you doing? We are all about to die. And I saw her look at me like I was crazy, but it didn't faze me. Because in my heart, I know from that dream to even this right here, this matrix, this life, this projection I am living, there is so much beyond the veil. I have seen miracles. I have witnessed angels. I know my faith is unshakable. But in this dream, it is being completely tested. And I'm looking at her, realizing she's about to be crushed. And it's now or never. It is go time. I reach underneath her door frame to try to help lift up her side. And again, I start my prayer. But this time, I put my full intention. I put my full deliberate consciousness and call upon the divine, the creator, God, source, and make almost a demand, knowing that they can, it is 100% possible, not a doubt is crossing my mind, but rather it becomes a command. We need you. We need you right now, my brother and sister, my soul brother and sister, and I need you. It is now or never. I send your angels now. And in that same split second, as I shift my consciousness from a prayer to an intentional blessing or intention, I see the room go with swirls of black and white. It was almost as if angels, maybe wings, I don't know what happened. It was so fast in this dreamlike state, in this dream. And the next second, just like out of a movie, instantaneously, the whole room came together. I was alone. Everybody that was in there, the chaos, the terror was gone. I was in the room by myself. I was under the door frame, and the room in itself was all in one piece. However, there was no furniture. It was completely empty. And directly from me, I remember there was a fireplace. I remember looking in this basement, if you will, the brown tile. And I remember a glitter, if you will, like a shimmer, and a glitch, like it was out of the matrix. And stillness. And then I woke up. Now I've had time to reflect on this dream. And I think back to the download they gave me about the image being the projection being the vision being the bridge, if you will. Then we also hear too about these side notes about how you've got to be delusional. You've got to believe. But in this sense, is it more than a belief, but the faith, a knowing? Also, another part that this made me think about this dream, if you've heard, there's a quote. It says, I had to come rattle your world. Otherwise, you would have never moved. Love the universe, love God, love the divine. In this dream, it was a beautiful archetype of how do we shift our reality. I was within a room where people didn't believe, but it didn't stop me. My vision, my intention was clear. And the moment I shifted that frequency to a deliberate turn of a radio dial, if you will, so too did the environment around me shift and alter. The people I was hanging out with weren't around. Another beautiful analogy, I think. As you begin to shift the realities that you want, the people around you are not always going to hang around. It felt like a quantum jump, if you will. But what I'm trying to get at, the key of all of this, it was beyond the looks of doubt. It was beyond the people looking at me like I was crazy. It was the intention of my heart. And basically a command with utmost faith that it would be done, that we would be saved. And what happened to them, I'm not sure. It was a dream, but I know I changed a radio dial. And I know that by changing that radio dial, people that were on a different frequency can't hear or see what I am seeing. Likewise to your dream. Your hologram that you're seeing out here, like me, in that basement, the chaos, the terror, the crumbling of a foundation coming down on top of us was the projection of what my consciousness was playing out. The bridge, however, was the faith of divine protection. And how it played out turned out much different than I think that you realize when you're put in the moment. But it all turned out for the best. I want to have you resonate on that. I want you to pray on that. I want you to think about it. Is it just a belief? Is it just playing the vision in your head, or is it changing the consciousness and directing into it, becoming it, and knowing with full intention, with all of your heart, that is done? That, I believe, is one of the major missing ingredients that I didn't place in the last video. There's nothing more. You just need the vision. But may your intention, may your consciousness, may your belief, may your faith carry you through, because it's what will keep it afloat. If this podcast has resonated with you anyway, I invite you to rate, comment, share, join the tribe, whether you're on Spotify, Apple, or YouTube. Know I love you. I love these opportunities to share what Spirit gives me, real life experiences, because I know we're all in this together. So thank you for being a part of the tribe. Welcome to the tribe if you're new. Make sure you press the little bell so you don't miss future episodes. And until next time, let me know what your interpretation of this dream was. Let me know how you play with faith and play with being delusional every single day. I'm sending love and light, guys. Namaste.